Okay. Hey guys. How
Hey
are you?
everybody.
This is Entertainment Calgary Zoom meeting, our roundtable, I guess, but the Zoom version. So I'm your host, Liz, and joining me is one of my co-hosts, Lina. And we're waiting for BR,
Hey
and also
everybody.
the only guy who can stand to be around us for a long period of time, Drew Atlas.
That's not true, but the alcohol does help.
Yes, it helps all of us. So how are you guys doing? I feel like I haven't seen you guys for a very long time.
It has been a long time. I missed you guys, that's for sure. I wish we could have done this in person, socially distancing, but we'll have to take what we can take just to connect.
Right.
But thank God for Zoom, hey? People staying connected this way.
That's right. That's right. I mean, 2020, I don't even know what to say. This year has opened, I think, all of our eyes to, I guess, our new normal. I hate when people say our new normal, but I guess
It's
that's
not a new normal. Don't say that, Liz. We're going to start fighting right off the bat.
not yet. We haven't even had for sample yet. I don't even know where to start with this whole pandemic. I mean, because I haven't seen you guys. I mean, how are you guys doing with this whole thing? And, back in March, I think everyone was kind of quarantining if they weren't working. Like, how have you guys all been doing with staying home with your spouses all day long and then your kids on top of it?
Yeah,
Drew's
hashtag don't
got
get
kids.
yelled at by your phone. Yeah.
I'll let him go there because he's the one that got the kids. So you go, Drew. Mine are older.
Yeah, it's been good. I've been able to spend quality time, and I'm not just everyone's like, oh, he's just saying that. No, it's actually been pretty good. My little ones are little, so they are seeking attention quite a bit, but yeah, we bonded quite a bit, and done some family things and driving here and there, staying within our bubble. But yeah, yeah, and I've been doing a lot of, most of the work has been again Zoom and Teams and Skype and all
Mhm.
of these things. So
Yeah.
as you guys see, I'm usually business up top, but not necessarily business down below.
Oh gosh, I was going to ask you, are you business on the top and not business and party in the front and the back or whatever they call it?
Exactly.
It does, yeah. It's usually sweats or shorts.
That's the way to go, man. Be comfortable.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Correct.
the topic as soon as BR gets on, how to address appropriately for Zoom, because I've seen a lot of messes. I've seen a lot of other
Holy,
mess that I shouldn't be seeing.
that is so true. So funny. Some of the stuff they post has been hilarious. Oh my gosh.
It's been quite entertaining actually.
Yeah. I am at work though, so I do have to be business. So I'm business from top to bottom, unfortunately. So nothing entertaining here. I can tell you guys that much. But yeah.
Well, some of
But
us
to
are
Drew's point,
professional.
we try as professional as can be. But to Drew's point, though, I do like what you said about the whole family thing, Drew, because that is one thing that I was very grateful for. Sometimes, before all of this happened, we would always say, I wish the world would just stop and slow down a little bit so we can enjoy the time with the people we love because work consumes us and everything like that. And the first month, I'm not going to lie, I was not upset about being home. I was
Oh, I thought you were gonna
actually
go somewhere else with that.
no, I wasn't upset about being home. I said, we're having dinner together, we're having more than one meal together, and everybody was over. And then, after a month, everybody was over it. And everybody was like, tell mom to stop cooking because we've all gained 15 pounds and it's only been a month. But I have to say that I was not upset about the world slowing down. I just didn't know that it was going to last that long. And then after that, reality kicked in and heartache started to happen because you hear about a lot of things. And our own business had to shut down for 3 months. And that was a really hard pill to swallow because a lot of people didn't think they were going to make it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because,
Yeah,
I agree with you more, Lena. I mean, I had moved into a new house and I hadn't had time, being a designer to fully finish it
exactly.
all up. So I did have the time to actually unpack everything that I needed to unpack. And I was doing the same thing. I wasn't really cooking. I was more baking than cooking. So yeah, my family gained a lot of weight as well. So we were just giving them to the neighbors. Everyone's like, stop baking. Just stop.
Oh my God. You became Little Miss Domestic, huh?
Yeah, which is weird. I
Who
never
knew you
thought I
had it
would
in
be like
you?
that. Exactly.
I don't know who Little Miss Domestic is.
Me either, man. I did not see that in her at all.
You know what? Neither did anyone in my family.
Surprise, people. 2020 is going to shock you in a lot of ways.
Exactly. You're going to find a lot of new talents.
No doubt.
It's been interesting on this side because with like summertime, I'm typically festival mode and event mode and
Yeah.
DJ, all that stuff has completely changed as well too. From not just our meetings ended up becoming virtual, but as you've seen, we've ended up having to conduct a couple festivals virtually as well too. So
how do you do that though, Drew? Like, how do you do that? How do you even entertain people virtually like that? Like, how do people get together, dance, and have fun?
Well, why don't you talk about, Drew, what you've been doing with Calgary Soca? Because I mean, that's majority of the virtual parties that I've been going to.
Really? So you have been partying, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
partying from home as much as possible. But I mean, it was fun. It was great, and you've been doing it for a while, for quite a few months. So why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, it was pretty much right over the whole summer period, spring into summer, because our first Calgary Soca, so the Caribbean side of the events, the that was right around the time when we're like,
Oh.
Make sure.
Oh no, he's frozen. Oh, there we go.
Are I frozen?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were frozen.
Can still see me? Okay.
I can see you. There you are.
Yeah, it was our anniversary, so we first had to figure out what we're going to deal with. We ended up using the Zoom platform, streaming to our Facebook group, which had about just shy of 2,000 people on it. So the great thing with Facebook is it gives everyone a notification that something was happening. And it was right, of course, at the start of the pandemic. So people were saying, okay, well, we typically go to this event. Long and the short, we ended up playing for 4.5 hours. There were 3 DJs. We were all socially distanced and patched. Yeah. And then when we looked at the end of it, Facebook's algorithm pushed it out to just shy of 6,000 people who had.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Holy.
So when so you come on and you realize that I'm like, hold on. These people are, someone's from New York, someone's from DC, someone's from the Caribbean, someone's here in Alberta, someone's in Ontario, and then people were just sharing it. So that whole viral thing just picked up. And then we had groups of, just 2 or 3s, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whoever was in their own socially distanced bubble at that point, and they were just logged in. Some people had the events patched into a device that was set up to speakers or something like that. So we had those parties. So once we realized that one took off, then we started looking at what the other bigger DJs were doing, stateside, Europe, and then started just trying to emulate some of that too. Now it's become quite flooded, obviously, with every DJ using the same platform.
Yeah.
So, but the last one we just did was just for intro.
Sorry. So with doing all of that, how do you see when we eventually try to get out of this whole thing that we're in, how do you see entertainment changing? Do you think it's going to change now? Do you see DJs now doing live streaming everywhere? Or do you think we're going to go back to normal clubbing, how it used to be? What is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, we hope so. I mean, I've gotten out of my primary business being the DJing, right? My real estate's mainly what carries me now, thankfully. Yeah. But the DJs who are doing these things, they're not getting paid necessarily to do them. And there's, copyright gray areas with regards to playing over the platform. So we need to get back out, the long and the short of it. We already discussed, I would have never reached someone in DC or Texas, or I had someone in Dubai logged on to the Carafest.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. Yeah, tapping away, sorry, time for us to go to sleep because it's so late, but thanks for partying with us for 3 hours.
The time difference, it's crazy.
Exactly. So as far as the reach goes, right? Absolutely. We're going to keep doing these sorts of things, but we definitely need to get back up.
I agree, because I have been longing to just go out and party.
Well, you want to get in a room and get all sweaty and dance with people.
I want to go out and be around people and, just like that atmosphere, when you're out and you see people. And here in Calgary, you always run into somebody that you know. They just doing that, it just seems like you can't, I don't know, I just miss that feeling of just being out and just having that vibe and that atmosphere around me. So I don't even know what to to say about that. Like, I don't want to say next year because everyone keeps talking about next year is when they're going to be comfortable going out. But I mean, how many months do we have left? Like 4 months left of this year.
Which is going to seem like an eternity. Okay.
And especially with the kids going back to school, is this week, I guess today they were doing like testers or something, like a test day or something like that. And a lot of people are worried about this second wave that's supposed to be coming, and I'm not sure what.
It's flu season, people. This happens every year.
I know.
But
So,
I know.
And there was a study that came out that said that a lot of people are worried about the second wave, and so they were considering moving to a smaller town. What are your guys' thoughts? Would you ever consider doing something like that?
I can't live in a small town. Well, there's pros and cons. This whole lockdown has, of course, forced us to go out and explore, the beauty that we have in our own backyard. We were in Canmore this weekend and we've been out there quite a bit, Canmore, Banff, that kind of thing. And being in a small town, the one thing I do love about it is it's so quaint. So in reference to you saying, I wish I could be out back with people. Yesterday was a gorgeous day. We were walking. So Canmore has half of their main street closed off to traffic so that people can socially distance, which was very cool. And the great thing about it is that you do feel people supporting each other and supporting, the small businesses that are there. A lot of it was heartbreaking to see that places couldn't, be at full capacity, but I could only take it in small doses. We were there for 3 days, and at the end of the day, 3 days. I was just like, I think I'm good. I'm ready to go home. I love the mountains. Don't get me wrong. And there was a lot of pros and cons, like I said, about it. It was nice to be on the street because everybody's walking and you get to feel you're with people. But it was I kind of felt like I was in a movie because everywhere you look, people are in a mask. And that's the one thing that I did not like about it at all. And so the reason why I love being in a city is because, like you said, Liz, everybody knows everybody and you get to go out and support your local community and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot more to do because it's so big. We can drive from, like, if I go from here to your house, I'm in the Northwest, you're all the way in the Southeast. I feel like I'm in a different part of the city. Exactly. And it makes me feel like I went somewhere. Yeah. But if you're in a little town and you're like 5-minute driving, I'd be like, yeah, no, I need to do more. Exactly. So I know a lot of friends though that have downsized and moved into smaller homes in Airdrie or in Cochrane. But I think I'm more of a big city girl, and I always have been. It's just, I don't know, it's just my thing.
I'm a DJ. I'm a DJ and a media personality. I feed on crowds, so small towns. I'm like you. Like, we actually took a drive out past Canmore. We went down to Radio.
Yeah.
Same thing. Great to be out there. Spend a few days, with the family, nice and quiet. But again, it was a getaway, and I guess it's just the lifestyle that we've been accustomed to. But the convenience factor of knowing that everything is that I want or need is within a couple minutes. But if I want something, as Lina said, I could literally go another 30 minutes within the city and get something else.
Yeah, exactly.
I completely
Liz, I can't see you being a small town girl, baking and all. I don't think that's going to happen.
You know what? I was born and raised here in Calgary, so I feel like I've already been through that transition of Calgary being not what it is today. So a little bit smaller. It wasn't, it was never, it still isn't, Vancouver or Toronto, but I've seen that transition of it being smaller and then getting to what it is today. So I'm good where I am. And I usually for work travel a lot. So I'm good.
All on the same page.
I can't be a housewife. No.
I'm sure BR would say the same thing.
I think BR would say the same thing too. She's definitely a people person. It sucks that she's stuck in a meeting right now and can't join us yet, but hopefully she'll take in a little bit. And if she doesn't, we'll get her to record her own segue to that, because I'm pretty sure she's going to be like, yeah, no, don't put me in a small town.
So when you guys were stuck in quarantine, I guess for, back in March, April, whenever, I think the last time I saw you, Lina, was actually your birthday party with my best friend as well. And
I know.
The last time
Thank God we had that party just in time.
Party. And that was right after that is when everyone was kind of like stuck at home right after that. So when you guys were stuck at home, I've seen a lot of challenges, social media challenges that people were creating. There was let me just go back here and take a look at my notes here. The pillow challenge. There was the don't rush challenge. There's the craft hazelnut challenge. The say so challenge. Quite a few of them. Is there any of them? Drew, I know you have something to say about some of these.
Oh my God.
There's so many of them. People are very creative. I mean, when you stick somebody in a room, there's unlimited resources of what you can do. So anyone that you guys participated in or wanted to participate in, or your family?
Zero.
And not even your kids? Nobody did anything?
No.
So I'll post below some of the challenges and some of the funnier ones. There was the Phil Collins cover challenge that I thought was hilarious as well.
That was hilarious, actually. I watched all of them. Don't get me wrong. I was just like, number one, I don't TikTok, so that was like out of the question.
TikTok blew up during quarantine.
It did. Oh my God. And then first thing my kids said to me, I said to them, the Drake song was the first thing, right? So they're like, Mom, if you ever try to do that, forget it.
Yeah.
They said they won't record me doing it. They won't even participate or endorse or support me doing it. So I'm like, yeah, let's just not go there. So I just did my own little tutorial videos for people who found out that hair salons and spas were essential services, and that kept me very busy. So
that's good. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
So Lina, actually, this is for you. During quarantine, I saw a lot of not just celebrities, but some of my friends who will remain nameless, doing their own hair, their own makeup, and their own nails.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me how we can do it better the next time?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to pray to God that there won't be a next time. But if there is a next time, okay, if there is a next time, Drew, you got it made, man. You take that bit and you just... You're good to go. Like, you're lucky.
Shine powder.
You guys just have to understand, if you can't get in front of Lina, this is the quarantine.
Oh, brother, can you imagine how many people are going to go bald after watching this? Like, believe me, guess what though? Let's not kid ourselves here. We do have a lot of male clients that came in after to get their hair properly shaved because they did end up going bald because they liked the no maintenance, no whatever. We've had a lot of women coming in and actually embracing the fact that they want to go gray and they want their hair to be silver. And so that we've seen a lot of beautiful transitions when that all came to be and the salons reopened and whatever. So the one thing that I want to tell people that if, you know, God forbid we have a second wave or we're forced to ever stay home, is to follow their local salon and support them in everything that they're doing, because we're doing it for you, first of all. And all these do-it-yourself things that you guys see on the internet, love these people, but some of the stuff like pipe cleaner on the nails, I thought I was going to kill myself when I saw fuzzy nails getting in style. I was like, no!
That's a thing?
Fuzzy nails, like, no, who wants to wear a sweater on their hands? Like, I just couldn't even. So anyways, the things that we did do for people is, I think the number one thing that was the most important is to keep people calm, because not only did they realize that salons and spas were essential services, I vote for that actually. However, you know, teaching people how to properly maintain their nails when they're home, how to properly maintain their eyebrows, and, you know, put on, you know, different types of mascara to maintain their lashes, because people were freaking out that their lash extensions were coming out and then their nails were growing out, and then had a proper Liz, I know you were struggling with the nail thing for sure.
Oh, the nail thing, yeah, horrendous for me.
Oh, I know. I saw girls try to like wait it out until the nails were like stuck on the very, very tip and their hair is getting caught in it when you shower. Like, it was bad. So I tell people, you get out there and you buy yourself a nail file and you buy yourself some cuticle nippers and some proper nail products, and you slowly start to just file off the top until it all comes off, because you don't want to damage your nails. There's a lot of things that we were giving people advice on how to do. And, you know, we have root touch-up powder for gray hairs that were coming in, and we were showing people how to do that. And just to keep them calm. Like, I mean, number one, you're stuck at home. Yes, I understand people were doing Zoom meetings, and those I think were the people that were really freaking out the most. But then when you started seeing celebrities sitting in front of their TVs doing their broadcast from their home and their hair is going gray. It's like true color started coming out. I tell you, we knew who was gray, who was not, who had short hair, who had bad hair, who had hair that was always styled, you know, like Ryan Reynolds and Stephen Colbert and all these big celebrities that were on TV. We're just telling people, just embrace it. And then all of a sudden, pink became this really popular color that all these girls started to go out and like dye their hair, right? And Taylor Swift and Miley, like all these celebrities. And so there's a lot of stuff people can do at home for sure. But I think the most important thing to do is, number one, don't try to cut your own hair. Don't teach your husband to cut your hair. Don't teach your wife to cut your husband's hair, because that didn't go well. I think the amount of like fixer uppers we had to do when we first opened had us 2 months. 2 months we were booked solid just with the fixer uppers, okay? Just with people that are like, I screwed up and you really got to help me. And now we're booked until November doing regular hair, right? Because everybody, I'm sure everybody got that call. It's like, oh no, my husband cut my hair or I cut my bangs. And so Mike, my husband went on some radio podcast teaching people, like, just be very careful. And if you do want to do it, FaceTime your stylist and say to them, my bangs are killing me. What can you do to help me? And a lot of our team actually would FaceTime with their clients and teach them on the phone how to properly do something to maintain it, instead of YouTubing something from someone who has no clue about you and who you are to them, and teach you how to do it properly. Exactly. So it's just really important to just stay connected with your stylist, your salon, your spa, and they'll help you get through whatever it is you need to get through, honestly. And it's not that bad. Like, the whole world was in it. It's not just you, right? That's the biggest thing we needed to remember. I think everybody just thought it was just them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. We're all in this together, people.
I really hope that we don't have to go through a second wave. And if we do have to do that, everyone, I will make sure to have Lina's information and her salon's information down below, so that when you're stuck and you need to fix your nails, your eyebrows, your hair, or your makeup, you know where to go.
Absolutely. You can call me. I will probably be here. If you know what, if you go on even my personal Instagram, our salon's Instagram, we were doing tutorial videos all the time for people, because people were like, I don't know how to braid my daughter's hair and she has to do this or whatever. And we did a ton of tutorials. And so just follow your salon and see what they have out there for you. We do have a lot of solutions, and I'm grateful that I was a nail tech in my previous life and makeup artist. And so I knew how to do the things that I needed to do to maintain me, but we didn't even come to the salon when we were closed. So people thought, oh, you're lucky you have a salon. I grew my roots out with everybody else, and I'm still the last one to get them done. As you can see, they need to be done now, but that's just how busy we are, because we got to make sure everybody else is taken care of. So yeah, just follow your salon.
Well, that's good on you guys for doing that during, everybody's personal battles, fashion battles, I guess.
Well, for sure.
Well, we are supposed to be on and talk about, clothing for Zoom meetings and Zoom dating.
Why don't we let Drew take that one off? Hey, Drew, what's your Zoom outfit today?
Okay, go ahead, Drew. You're on. I think the only piece of advice that I can give is please wear some pants in your Zoom meetings.
Or if you have a mirror behind you, be careful.
Yeah, or if you're not going to wear pants, make sure that it does not fit into the screen when you stand up or move around.
Exactly. Or if you have a mirror behind you, because we don't want to see your behind.
No, we don't.
So I saw some of those.
Yes, I saw quite a few.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe we'll just touch on it just a little bit. I didn't even know this was a thing, but I guess, a lot of people like to date online. So they had Zoom dating. So do you know anybody I know a few people that have done this, but Zoom dating is a thing. So, I mean, what are some tips? What do you guys think about, what you should do on a Zoom date? Have a nice
number one.
Get a sparkly background.
Liz, she got you covered for that.
Perfect. I am always Zoom dating ready.
No, my
Oh
date is
my
in
God.
my date is in my bubble, so I don't really, I didn't get a chance to Zoom date with her. How
That
about
is
that?
so interesting, Liz. I never even thought about that. I guess we were just all so consumed within our own world of what's happening, what we needed to do, is that you never thought
Yeah.
about like what did people do during a Zoom date or whatever you want to call it. It's like,
I don't even know
I
what
don't
you
know. I just feel that people don't, maybe it's better than like, you know, when they say online dating and you just like emailing with people, because I have a few girlfriends that do that kind of stuff. And you say you can't really tell a person's personality through like reading an email, but maybe on video, of course, like, I mean, our personalities kind of come through as we're talking on this Zoom call right now. And I think that that's very, I think it's a good idea. It's better than just talking to somebody over email. At least I don't know what they smell like if they're on Zoom, and that's kind of a big thing for me.
You know what? I'm glad that you said that actually, because I was going to ask you if you have any hygiene or hair and makeup tips for people that are Zoom dating.
Well, make sure there's nothing in your teeth, first of all. I don't know, like, and I think just you are representing yourself. It's kind of like going for a first interview, right? You never have a second chance to make a first impression. And I just feel that you want to show the person who you are. And as we're getting more comfortable on this call, I think if people chatted for long enough, their true personality would come out and you'd get to know, oh, I like that person. They're kind of quirky or they're kind of funny, and their body language. And I think a Zoom, I think people should always interview each other on the phone before they meet in person, actually. So let's make that a thing.
So Drew, what's the male perspective on this?
I'm so out of the game. Like, it's funny you mentioned that. As you mentioned, I'm thinking about my background right now. And if I were dated, if someone would be like, well, this man is clearly an alcoholic.
An alcoholic.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But I agree with Lina. I mean, it's nice to get to know people, not just, you know, an online profile, and I can't physically go meet the person. So if I've got, you know, 40 minutes or an hour and a half or whatever it is on a Zoom, if that's what it is today, but that's like super strange to me.
Well, how do you
I
hug
guess,
the person when you do finally meet them then? Like, do you hug? Do you not? Like, that's so weird. I'm such a huggy person. The first thing I'd want to do is like go in for the hug, you know? It's just
you
weird.
probably let them know. You probably let them know if this is a really good date. I'd say, okay, so Lina, next time I see you, just be forewarned. I like you a lot. I'm going in for a hug.
I think that's a good idea.
Be forewarned, and I'll
I'm
make sure
very
there's nothing
forward.
and I smell okay.
For sure.
Wow.
Mike just got here. Speaking of Zoom calls, we're doing a Prosecco and Nuts Zoom call. Liz and Drew and everybody.
Is that Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Guess who just showed up for our Zoom meeting? My stylist.
How are you?
Can you hear me now? Because he was in my earpiece.
Oh, hi Mike.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
They're saying, how are you?
Good, how are you? I can't hear you. She's on.
Well,
Good
that's
to
okay.
see you guys.
Good to see you too.
I'll let you go.
Well, Liz, I think you're the only one who should really be answering that question. Did you have any Zoom dates?
I would absolutely not even think about doing that.
No, why not?
Why though? What if you go into quarantine for a year? You're gonna not meet anybody for a year?
No, if there's, you know.
There's, you know.
I was trying to think of a
blooper,
better way to say
or
that.
is this gonna...
Liz would just put on her face mask and, you know, her stylish face mask, which I'm sure we're going to get examples
Oh my
of.
God. We are going to talk about face masks. I brought a lot of them.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
I brought lots.
Where did you get that?
Lots of face masks. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm working, these are like, you know, some of the ones that I wear. So yeah, scare people. Don't come near me. Anyways, face masks.
Oh my God, Liz.
You know, face masks have evolved from PPE to making huge fashion statements. Are there any, Drew, what are you using these days? Because you know Lina and Lina's on the same page as I am.
Yeah, I'm still with the clinical grade. So it's either that nice blue filter, you know, so I'll try to match it with my shirt.
Oh, see,
sometimes.
at least you're trying to coordinate, which is good.
No, I'm not. No way. But actually, I do have cloth masks, right? I do have cloth masks. So
Oh,
my
yes,
wife.
I saw it. I saw that you were wearing some during CareFest.
Yes. So we actually had some branded ones done for the festival, and then they had the filter inserts as well. Yeah, I mean, for us, for me, when I say us, the team, it's more about being safe. But I do appreciate that, they're becoming fashion pieces. But you know me, ladies, I ask you, am I fine to go on show? Like, that's it. I'm that guy.
And like these face masks, like what is your guys' opinion? How long this is gonna stay for? Are these gonna continue on as because I believe some of us were talking about Trinidad Carnival, and how a lot of costuming is going to probably always incorporate things like this. But I mean, when I'm working, I can probably only wear this for maybe an hour, if that, even then, if it is stylish or not, it is very uncomfortable to wear. So I don't know, even if it is fashionable, are you guys going to stick around with keeping up with fashion
I
statements?
am. Well, my industry, I mean, I've got to be around people, real estate wise, in other people's homes. So yeah, just from a safety perspective, and of course, I got little kids at home too, right? So I don't want to be the one that's going into multiple properties and then transmitting potentially something into someone else's home. So
Yeah.
until there's a definitive cure, I don't have a problem with personally myself, but
I do want to touch on a little bit about, the real estate market a little bit later with you, Drew, but with the kids, because you have two young ones,
yeah.
and one probably going into school soon. Any tips on how you're going to keep mask on her, and how are you worried about what's going to happen, or trying to keep this mask on her and not having her friends try on other ones? Are you worried about that at all?
Yeah, definitely. So we actually have a meeting coming up with her teacher. So she's actually going to kindergarten. She's 5. So this is, of course, the concern where you can tell your child one thing and 20 minutes later, that's not going to fly.
Yeah.
So the face covering that we're actually looking for, she's going to be wearing a face shield, right? So it looks, it's as unobtrusive as possible. It's not going to be a mask sitting over her. There you go. There you go. That's exactly it. Okay. Except, what is it? Does yours have a tiara on the top?
No, but I have one that's coming that's all blinged out. So.
Oh my gosh.
No, Lina, and so that's what my daughter has. She has a little tiara.
So, Lina, just so you know,
That's
Drew's
cute.
daughter is like a mini me. So Drew is like in a world of pain
my
for the rest of
gosh.
us.
I have no idea how it happened. I have zero idea how it happened. The child.
Well, she's gonna look so cute. She's gonna be so fashionable when she gets to school. So that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's possessive of it, so she's not gonna have anybody taking it off of her. This is my
Which is
tiara,
good.
right? And then obviously the teachers are gonna be a bit behind that as well. So fingers crossed. But she's only gonna be there 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll be taking it one day at a time just to make sure that
Absolutely. And your wife is a nurse, so I'm sure that you guys are going to be very, very, very extra careful.
Extra.
Mm-hmm.
And does the school allow the shield? Are they allowed to wear a shield, or? Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, we've reached out to the Calgary Board of Education, because if you guys want my intake on the whole mask thing, I have a very different opinion. I'm all about keeping people safe. And like you guys mentioned in the beginning, it's called PPE, which is personal protective equipment. It's not medical protective. So that's why people have gone into, creating masks that are bling and creating masks that have, fabric patterns, and people are making them at home, and people are. So we went into a restaurant one day, and the staff were wearing this clear shield across their mouth. And I asked the waitress, where they got them from and if I could buy one, because I really love the concept. We had missed so much of seeing what people look like. I feel the mask has taken away our identity. Okay. I don't want to get political or anything like that, but I'm very passionate about this subject, which is why we've gone out and started a trend. And I'm hoping that it's a movement, really. I don't want to call it a trend, because if this is something that we're going to have to do for a long time, I feel that we should still be allowed for people to see us. I cannot imagine being a 5-year-old going to school and being surrounded by everybody with a mask, first of all.
Yeah,
You know, it's the one nightmare that parents used to talk about when kids were little. Don't go near anybody that you don't know. And how are they going to know anybody anymore when they go into a school and anybody can approach them and they don't know who that person is? Walking into a bank these days, you guys, with a mask and sunglasses on is okay, when back in the day would have been a stop, drop, and roll and everybody's under arrest and holy shit,
That was,
you know, like,
that
oh,
was,
excuse
that
my
was a
French.
joke. Yeah, that was a
But
joke.
bloop that one out. But do you know what I mean, guys? Like, it was back in the day, it's like you cannot go in, and now they yell at you if you don't walk in with a mask, and you're okay to walk in with your sunglasses. So nobody knows who, you can't identify who people are. So we went into this restaurant and I took the mask and I started doing research, and some people reached out to me when I posted a video of me wearing this mouth shield, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like because I truly think it is the answer and it's a brilliant idea. The purpose of the mask, let's get this clear so that everybody knows, is that they want to prevent us from droplets coming into our mouth and us, as our prime minister would say, speaking moistly to people. They don't want people to do that, right? So I went online, shut up, Liz, you know it's funny, because that's what it's all about, right? We don't want to spit on people.
that was the funniest thing I've ever heard him say.
It was actually, but it's become a thing. And that is literally what people are worried about, is that you're going to like spit on them when you talk, right? The whole thing is to prevent the droplets from coming towards you and you know, spitting them back. So when we went to the restaurant, this is what the waitress was wearing. You guys can see that this shield is transparent. This is a prototype, and we've, like I said, started locally producing, manufacturing, and selling these in our salon because I want to bring Calgary smiles back. I want to see people's faces. I want people to be able to recognize other people. This goes on like this, and the little black part is a chin strap because this is what keeps the mask staying up on the face. But I don't know if you guys can tell, it covers my nose, so I can't breathe anything in here. I can wear all my lipstick all the time because now I don't have to not wear everything that I've paid a ton of money for. This is the medium, and I just started making these in small sizes for kids too. This is the large, and the difference between the large and the medium is just how high it goes and how wide it is if somebody has a wider face. When you guys put these on, tell me a child would not feel safer looking at their teacher wearing one of these than wearing a black mask over her face, or an N95 mask over their face.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Well, as you can tell though, when I put this on, tell me if my voice has changed or if I've become muffled at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My voice is still there. You can still see me. You can still see my expression. And the thing and they're adjustable, like they have the little ear, you know, pieces on the back that you can adjust with the elastic and everything like that. And I just feel that it's become really sad that everybody's almost robotic. That's the one thing in Canmore that really upset me, is that everybody's out in the sun, it's 21 degrees and everybody's complaining every time they stepped out of a store. They take it off and it's like, oh, I can breathe again.
Yeah.
Well, you can breathe with this because it's open here. So just like your shield, Liz, that you put on, and Drew, the one you got for your daughter, I mean, if she wants to bling it out, we're thinking of getting cute little stickers for kids, and they can put like a mustache, or they can put lipstick, or they can put happy faces or whatever, and they can decorate them on the side to make them fun for them to wear. But at least they know, because they're hard, they're not going to touch their face when they're in school. And it's something that's so important. I've reached out to the Calgary Board of Education and I said, your teachers should wear these because students want to see their teacher. They want to feel safe. I feel that, you know, especially with the massive announcement they made this morning that kids don't need to social distance, it's going to be havoc in those schools. Exactly. And people just need to be able to see other people to feel safe. And I hope that, you know, anybody watching this understands that, yes, it's not a mask that's closed like this, but also the masks that people are wearing definitely don't prevent things from going in, because it's not an N95 mask. The N95 are the ones that completely suction to your face, and those are the only things that are 100% safe. Yeah. Everything else, you guys, has become a fashion statement, and I'm sorry, I don't feel that they're safe. If they're looking for safety, right? They're just looking for us to protect ourselves from the common everyday spitting and moisture and droplets and all that stuff. Exactly.
Well, you know, Lina, I've come to your salon and purchased a few of those actually for a lot of my
Yep.
friends that actually hate wearing masks. So they've been really great. So
Well, the great thing about it is we're producing them locally and we love supporting local. A local designer reached out to me and said, I want to help you make this because I believe in it and I think people should show their faces. So come over, and we talked, and it's a local product. And I think that it's going to bring Calgary's smile back again. My hashtag is your smile is beautiful, don't hide it. And I don't feel that people should. So I want everybody to smile again.
Well, we'll put a link below for everyone that's interested in those masks, those shields that you have that want to purchase them. We'll put something in the description below so that they know how to contact you for that.
For sure. Yeah.
Perfect. So there's a couple other local boutiques and designers that I just wanted to shout out. There's NRT, MB Accessory, Kate Huco, Paul Hardy Designs, and PS Make Me Famous, that are all local designers here in Calgary that are making fashionable masks. So I will also put that in the link below for you guys to take a look at and check out their masks as well. So we'll just move on here. So thanks for that, Lina. I appreciate that.
Oh, my pleasure, guys.
So
supporting local is a big thing,
especially
during this time.
Yeah, exactly. Drew, I think it's you're up. Tell me what's been going on with you in the housing markets and, entertainment, everything like that.
Well, as I said, entertainment's been a bit interesting, obviously, because we had to make the shift to virtual. So a lot of the festival stuff, the first one, obviously, was when everything kind of kicked off, was when we realized that the Stampede wasn't going to be happening at the crowd.
Oh, that was hard.
Yeah.
No, I think they estimated it was about $500 million that was lost in Alberta revenue, just that not happening.
So sad.
Yeah. So, of course, there was a very long thing that came out from the actual board, and I just missed being at the Coca-Cola stage this year.
Absolutely, and
For
I missed us
sure.
going down and trying out all those unique food that we tried.
You guys went crazy on some food last year. Holy moly. I wouldn't even try some of that.
So I think my stomach thanks you because there's no ants in me this year, no bugs.
Yep. No cricket.
Cricket. But it was definitely missed. And then of course, when you realize that something as big as the Stampede is affected, then it started to, I think all the other festivals beyond that started noticing that as well. It took a little while, obviously, before we could even have restaurants and bars open again. And even now, the capacities are, held back as well too. So it's been very interesting times. And as we had talked about earlier, this is where some of the virtual stuff had actually come in. And yeah, we did make a bit of a shift, but revenue-wise, it's affected everybody from bar owners to disc jockeys to servers to every and anybody with regards to entertainment has been affected. Bands, everyone. Okay.
Absolutely.
Housing was interesting, supremely interesting. So at the top of the year, the Calgary Real Estate Board had predicted way more activity for 2020 than it was supposed to happen in 2019. Then of course, COVID hit, and I think, let me see, where did I make the note? It had dropped off over 60% of showing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it just dropped off, and that was April, from the same time period in 2019. I actually just looked at the number of sales. There was something like 4,000 or 5,000 homes that were in the market just in the detached sector. That month there was 347 sales, so it was pretty much a round to a halt. Now the great thing is that it came back on par because housing was actually deemed an essential service as well. Housing sales by the end of May, it was actually back on par where it would have been for the same period in 2019, and very surprisingly, we are now 140% of activity at the end of August. Yeah, at the end of August, over the same time, end of August 2019.
Well, it's a buyer's market right now, isn't it?
It is, but the thing is that we're seeing a lot of showing, so people are actually, accustomed, as you said, we don't want to use the term the new normal, but people kind of understand what their risks are. There's certain measures that are taken place by realtors. For a while, we couldn't do open houses. Open houses have come back, but with some restrictions. But the point is that people are actually looking. So activities definitely picked up. What hasn't picked up, unfortunately, for Alberta is house prices.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. So
House pricing?
Pricing is not picked up.
Which means because we've been shopping around, like our daughter was shopping around for a home and the prices have dropped considerably. Like it's definitely a lot more affordable to buy a home. But what's it like in terms of like all the interest and all that? Because they're saying banks are basically like they're torn. What is it?
Yeah, the banks have had to again make that shift. They realized that there was a 2-month period, and this is Canada-wide, well worldwide, right?
Yeah.
That there was little to no activity, and a bank is only going to make money if it loans money.
Right.
So there's been a bit of correction with what they consider the stress test to allow you to qualify for a mortgage, and then the interest rates themselves have gone down. So you can actually get a 5-year mortgage for under 2%. So in essence, it's
that's crazy.
very cheap money. So if you are one of the people
in the market,
in the market, but Alberta's it's been really, really hard hit. I mean, again, the people who watch this,
excuse me.
We have, I think it's something like 13% unemployment right now, between 12 and 13% unemployment in Alberta. And then a stat came out that was interesting as well, is that 1 in 5 people actually took up the banks on the ability to defer their mortgage payment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
In Alberta, yeah. Wow. So what we're expecting is coming here into the fall, once those mortgage deferral periods to have gone off, that more product coming onto the market. So that's just it. We have a lot of product on the market. There is a bit more activity with the banks, and lenders trying to make sure that people are able to buy property. But as of this morning, I checked. Let's see. So in the last 30 days, this is just the detached sector. I'm not looking at infills. I'm not looking at condominiums. Just single detached homes. There were 965 sales, which is significantly up from that 300 that was in April.
Wow.
But there's 3,000 detached properties in the Calgary market
right now.
Wow.
So 1 in 3 is not selling in the month, right? So this is where now someone says, well, if I have to sell, they're being a bit more aggressive on the pricing. So good news, activity is up, but people actually buying are buying for deals. As you said, that's where they call it a buyer's market. If there's a deal, I'll buy it, right? But I'm not going to be paying necessarily a premium, and that's just a blanket statement. There's obviously some communities where the home is just, so in demand that someone is willing to pay for it. I've personally been in three multiple offer situations in the last 2 months.
Wow.
But
really?
Yeah, but it was based on the price of the home and what it was. It was literally, you look at it and go, how are they offering this home at this price? But it was just
and it's really weird because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you drive by a C train station and you see that there are no cars parked there during the day, that tells you how many people are working from home or how many people lost their jobs. Like it's one of the two, because like we're situated in Crowfoot. So I drive by that Crowfoot station all the time. And I called my daughter the other day. I was like, what is happening? Why are there no cars here still? And she's like, Mom, either people lost their jobs because companies shut down, or people are just decided to keep their jobs and work from home, and they don't need to go down to the office as much. So I'm like, wow. So either people are upgrading their homes, changing their homes, working from home, but a lot of stuff is happening from home.
I actually saw a report that here locally that there's so many office buildings downtown Calgary that are vacant, that they're looking into turning them into loft spaces, which I, as a designer, I think is an amazing idea. But I mean, do you want to really do that? Like, is that enough space for it? And in the time that we're living in, is that something that's good for people, right? Living in a smaller space. Like Drew, you would probably be able to answer this better than I would, but living in a smaller space downtown instead of a big house.
Yeah, some of the commercial developers and commercial owners had to make that switch. They're saying that commercially, they're not getting anything, right? You've got something like over the equivalent of over 2 full office towers in downtown Calgary are 100% vacant. Not in the same building, but if you tallied it
Yeah.
all up, 2 completely vacant. So someone there is losing revenue, leases and whatever else. So, there's been a couple who have been pretty smart in actually converting these things to actual residential. So you're just having to, move with the times, much like you're, dating over the phone.
Yeah.
As opposed to
Get
in
creative.
person.
Yeah.
You're just getting creative to use that space in a different way. So it's definitely challenging in Alberta, but the good thing to see is that activity is up. But we're trying to brace ourselves when you talk to any of the lenders, the bankers, or anyone really in the know behind what's happening with Alberta real estate. Into the fall, once the mortgage deferrals are done, then we might actually see another drop again potentially.
Yeah.
There'll be a huge shift, I'm sure. Even our building here in Crowfoot is like 40% vacant. So people are just dropping like every day. We get a notice that someone else has left, and it's really sad actually. It's heartbreaking, but it's crazy what this has all done to just our whole economy, real estate, business, everything. Lots of people were shut down for 2, 3, 4 months. It's crazy. Thank God we don't live in California. Salons are just opening at the end of this month. So that would be like 6, 7 months closed. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
And there has been a lot of store closures,
Oh yeah. A lot of local
not just
businesses for sure.
not just locally, but I mean, Victoria's Secret, what is it? Bed and Body.
Bed Bath and Beyond. Yeah.
No, Bath and Body Works, Army Navy. There's Microsoft. I heard is closing their Chinook Center, like all their locations here in Calgary as well.
Oh really?
A lot of places that haven't been able to recover from this pandemic. And, I think I just want to show some love to some of our local boutiques. So is there any local companies here in Calgary that you guys want to shout out that we should mention?
Oh my God. Well, of course, Megan down at the SB Experience, like I love her, and she's still traveling, still bringing back deals and bringing back, there's little Italian restaurants that we go to, I think the big chains, I know they're going to do better than the little mom and pop shops. It's when you start hearing of the little places closing that break my heart. So I think people should just research the local, little boutiques in their area and go support them. I think that's really important because that's what we've done. We've just looked for non-chain businesses to support as best as we can.
Absolutely. I think I'll shout out Shoe Muse and Checkmate Shoes, Crab Apple.
Yeah, they're
a living room restaurant that I've redesigned quite a few times. I was actually supposed to redesign it again, but we had to stop because of the pandemic. And also Edges Salon.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys. All the love to you. You guys are wonderful.
Anybody else that you want to shout out? Any restaurants and bars or anyone that you've been working with that we should shout out?
Well, it's pretty much I've worked with so many now. It's the best thing I can tell you is if it's your neighborhood pub or whatever your regular water hole was or whatever it was, if you have the opportunity to go back and just show your face, as Lina said, there's a lot that goes on to even just running an establishment, from staffing, leasing, food, beverage, all of these sorts of things.
Absolutely.
If you cared about them and you have any sort of memory fondly that you'd like to see them come out of it, just once in a while drop by.
Exactly.
You do takeaways. Trolley 5, for example, they had helped us do that beer for our Beat Matrix anniversary
Matrix, that's a throwback.
Well, we did the anniversary party, and they actually helped us brew a beer, right? Turntable beer.
Oh, yeah.
No way. That's
yeah.
amazing.
So they're just on 17th Avenue. So it's been great when they opened up again. Like, you could actually go get the beer on takeout or.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did see that on social media. Yeah.
So things like that, just find out whoever it is and, at least pop in and show your support. So, but I'm sure that we'll probably have a few more that we can come up with and put somewhere around.
We'll put some names up for sure. And something that did come up when we were in Canmore, a lot of the restaurants that we went to, one of them, we ended up meeting the owner of, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Blake, they're a restaurant up there, and he owns a double-decker bus and all those places. And so those people have now, because they have distilleries, they've started producing hand sanitizer. So he's like, hey, they loved our shield idea. So he's like, I want these in all my restaurants. And I said, well, that's amazing. You know, we love supporting local. What can we do to support you? And he said, well, we just started making hand sanitizer because business is down so much. They're looking at an alternate way to make money. So we brought in their hand sanitizer, which by the way is unbelievable. And we'll put like their name down here as well, but research and see what other businesses are doing, because like the saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them. So if you're doing something and now you're forced to do something else, like who would have ever thought that this is what I would be selling in my business? But here we are. And the reason why, because it ties into my business, is because we're all about the beauty industry. So we want to show people's beauty, which is why we got into this. But if there are people, you know, there's a lot of places that were distilleries that started to make these hand sanitizer things. Look for those people and support, you know, the people that are shifting their business to accommodate these trying times, that are just trying to stay afloat. And like Drew said, we would call, you know, our little Italian places, and for some reason right now, their name is completely drawing. It's SS 106. I think it's on Center Street or Edmonton Trail. But what do you guys have? Because when they got the news that, oh, you're allowed to open, and all of a sudden, nope, we take it back, you're not allowed to open. They were left with all these food in the fridges. And so they're like, we're putting together stuff off the menu. Do you guys want to come and buy stuff? I'm like, put together pizzas for me, Italian pasta dishes. We'll come pick it up. And that's how you can support people, is that if they need to get rid of inventory, just call them. You never know what they need, and your phone call could mean the world to them. Just the cute little
was doing the exact same thing with their food as well.
Yeah, they were, because there's an overabundance. The hardest thing, you guys, is to go to a restaurant and see the lineup out the door, and by the time you get seated, you go inside and only half the space is occupied. That kills me. That was so hard to experience over the weekend. I'm like, they're turning business away because they're not allowed. And that's a lot of inventory that they have just sitting there that they need to get rid of. So support whoever you can, like Drew said, wherever you've had a memory, get in there and tell them what can you do to help, whether it's pickup or takeout or whatever.
Absolutely. So if you guys want to send me a bunch of names,
we will, for sure.
Support. And then Drew, with all your real estate stuff, because I know I get your newsletters on a monthly basis, so I will make sure to put your real estate stuff below. So if anyone has any questions about real estate, they can reach out to you directly.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a ton of people are going to have, like you said, questions with everything that's coming up. So thankfully, through the office, we get stuff directly from the real estate board, and then we've actually got an in-house person who checks statistics weekly, obviously.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
So yeah, we kind of keep working on that. So, and that's residential. So.
Great, thank you. So I'll just chug along here because I know we're going to lose Lina quickly, and hopefully BR will be able to jump on. So the other topic that I do want to mention that has been all over the news, and it resonates with us differently, and we all are passionate about it in different ways, but the Black Lives Matter movement. So, oops, sorry about that. I actually don't, I only want to speak about it through what we know best, and that's fashion and music. So we all support it in different ways, and I respect everybody else's opinion on how they feel about that. But let's talk about one person that I think that spoke about it really well was back at the Golden Globe Awards, Lainey Liu. She actually wore an Indigenous designer at the red carpet,
which is beautiful. It was gorgeous.
Amazing. So sorry, let me backtrack, because I do want to say Black Lives and Indigenous Lives That Matter movement. I think being Canadian, it is important for us to also mention that as well. But I think that was a fabulous way of, connecting fashion world, everybody, and still not saying anything, but saying something very important.
Yeah.
And the other person that I think, I don't know if you guys watched this, I'm sure Drew, you watched it, the Beyonce's Black is King on Disney Plus. Did you watch it or no?
I didn't watch it. No, I'm sorry, I didn't.
I sent you guys a link with all of the outfits that she did wear. Did you watch it, Drew?
No? I skimmed it. Come on. It's like, here's the thing. If I'm going to put any sort of caveat, if I go on to my television viewing right now, it's a lot of Treehouse. Yeah, my television is monopolized by two little girls. But I did absolutely skim through Black is King, and yeah, it was definitely it felt like a very solid art project.
I know, I felt the same way, because I was like,
I'm gonna have to watch it now.
Like a very long music video. But
Was it really?
I felt like that. Like it was, yeah, it was.
Okay.
There was really no speaking except for when she was singing, or if there was points that she wanted to make. But it was beautifully done. It was longer than Lemonade.
Wow. Okay.
um,
Good to know.
yeah, I thought it was beautifully done for sure. And Beyonce always likes to take a stand for Black lives, African lives, just the African heritage. So I thought it was beautifully done.
I
And
think this just released the actual music video for Brown Skin Girl.
oh yeah,
You can just pull that up on YouTube. It'll give you pretty much an idea of the tone, right? But it's very celebratory. There's nothing that is over the top with regards to us versus them or anything. It's more of this is different, but this has always been here, and let's appreciate these differences.
exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay. And what's it called again?
Brown Skin Girl.
Brown Skin Girl.
Nice. Okay. I'm going to watch that too.
Yes. So, and back to what I was mentioning before, if there's any Black businesses or Indigenous businesses that you guys think that we should shout out, I personally, Drew and I have done a lot of these food segments. So Simply Irie, Joyce's, Lloyd's Patty Plus, Caribbean Food Choice. Those are all Black owned businesses that, we absolutely support and go to on a regular basis. So yeah.
Lately on 17th Avenue, Ronnie's place. Actually, it's mentioned in What Fashion, and forgive me, I'm gonna have to put the link
so you're
somewhere.
talking about his sister. Yeah, that opened the shop in Chinook. Yeah.
Sorry, what's the name of the spot?
I have no idea.
Okay, we'll have to pull up. Ronnie, I'm sorry.
I'll put it down. Yeah, but she just opened
Yeah,
it.
but she opened a shoe store in Chinook Center, so kudos to them.
Yeah,
But Ronnie's
That's awesome.
Yeah. So make sure you check out later for sure.
Absolutely. And BR and I actually have a mutual friend who's in the fashion industry who's started designing Ethiopian wear here in Calgary. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so he has some amazing fashion. So I'll also put his link below for everyone to check out as well.
There's a lot of things and places we could do to support. And I think the most important message through all this for me, growing up being a person, I know maybe my screen right now is not making me look like I got color, but I got color. Coming from a different country, I was very different when I was younger. And I share my story with places I go, but I just think that, love is such a powerful thing. And at a time like this, it's just showing compassion and loving everyone of all, it's what our parents teach us. And racism, you're not born with it. You're not born with, all that hatred that is going around in the world right now. And I feel like the world needs a hug, like a giant hug, and everybody just come together. And, maybe this time is going to teach people to love more or to whatever. But, that's one thing I've taken out of this, because it's just bringing out all these different colors, right? All these different emotions in people. And maybe it's taking something like this to like give the world a shake and say, what matters, you guys? People matter, and all lives matter. And people are just becoming so sensitive. And so, it's hard to see people arguing, people that I love. I've lost a lot of friends on Facebook, sharing or not sharing, and people get mad at you, whether you talk about something or you don't talk about something. And it's like, everybody has the right to talk about whatever they want to talk about, and everybody has the right to love and share what they want to share. It's the beauty of who we are as people and the countries that we live in. And so just be kind, people. That's the biggest thing that I share with people, is just have compassion, be kind. We are one love, we are one race, we're the human race, and just, love thy neighbor. That's such a powerful statement that is true, because it doesn't matter who your neighbor is. Just love thy neighbor, love people. Stop hating. Stop being so aggressive on social media.
Yeah. Well said, Lina. So before we lose you, because I know we're probably going to lose you.
No, don't worry. I'm going to stay. I've already messaged and told them I'm going to be a few minutes, so don't worry about it. It's all good.
Because I want to transition quickly from this, because I think you're going to have a lot to say, and then right into Prosecco and Nuts, so we could get over the award show from last night. But one thing I know that a lot of people absolutely loved from our other segment was what we did with Trump and Hillary. So we didn't get political. We didn't talk about it. We talked about their fashion statements, what they were doing, and what we thought would be better for them. So I think so.
You're going to talk about the green dress, aren't you?
Well,
Oh my God,
not
Liz.
yet, in a minute. But so the elections are coming up November 3rd. So we've got Trump and Pence again. We've got Biden and Harris, and Kanye West. I don't know if he's still is he still in it?
That was a train wreck. Holy moly. Nothing surprises me anymore, Liz. No, but you can run for president. I'll vote for you.
Yes. I think I would do a better job. At least the world would be a little bit more fashionable if I was president. But so speaking of that, after your and BR's advice, do you think Trump's style has changed at all in these 4 years?
Well, he's not as orange anymore. Honestly, though, I haven't seen him as orange anymore. His skin has taken a little tone down a little bit. And has he changed? Not a lot. There's not much you can do with that hair. I'm sorry. When you got no hair, you got no hair.
I watched a small little snippet of the RNC, and I saw that little flap like blowing in the wind.
I know. Her fashion has changed, though.
Sorry?
Her style has changed a little bit, though. Of course, she's gotten more conservative, more, I mean, I don't know who dresses her. Sometimes they just go completely whatever. But no, I wouldn't say that he's changed a whole lot. You can't really do much with what you don't got. So.
Yeah, exactly.
It just is what it is.
With the Democrats, is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Is there anything that you would change about them? I know for me, I've seen Kamala Harris only wear pantsuits, and we know how we all feel about pantsuits because we talked about this with Hillary Clinton last time. So what would you put her in?
I don't know. This is definitely BR's more like a BR's thing, but she could definitely change and go into like a two-piece suit. If she wants to stick to a suit, fine. Chanel makes a lot of nice two-piece skirt suits, okay, or dresses. But, you know, I don't think, maybe she's trying to show power being in a pantsuit. I don't know. I don't know the reasoning behind all that. But I think a woman can be very powerful in a skirt suit, too.
Yes, that's true. She could pull off a skirt. Because I did find one image of her in a dress, and she looked amazing. So,
really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen her in one. That's crazy.
I actually sent it to you guys, so look a little bit lower.
Yeah,
okay.
It wasn't a political thing. She was just in a dress.
Yeah, she was. Just
okay.
And it really looked good on her. So that's the only image I could find of her wearing a dress. But is there anything you would change with her hair at all, Lina? Because I know you like to talk about that.
Let's not go there. Just a little makeover, you know, whatever.
Lina just wants to make everybody over.
I just want to make everybody over. There is a lot. Well, I mean, like I said, there's just I think she's just trying to come across too conservative. She could have a little more fun with it. She can go a little softer. It's okay to just let your true you show. Like I'm looking at her, and now I see the photo, and you're right, the dress does look gorgeous on her. So she could definitely wear a dress more often. But just, you know, softer in the hair, and she's just keeping it very stiff. She needs it to just be relaxed, you know, let it go, let it flow. That's pretty much all I would say. Yeah, let it go, let it flow.
Well, Melania Trump wore her green screen dress, so I'm not sure who her stylist was. I'm not sure if she has a stylist. I'm sure she does.
Well, at least Donald Trump's not wearing the red tie all the time, every time. So, you know, that's a plus. But that green dress was just weird. You putting that "I'm with stupid" one was hilarious.
We all know what happens with a green dress. So do you think that was something intentional?
I don't know what it means. I don't know what anything means in the political world anymore, to be honest. Let's face it, guys. Who the hell knows what anything means?
You don't think it, what were you saying, Drew? You don't think it was intentional?
No. Intentional that she's going to go out there in a green screen colored dress so that someone can overlay something on her? Is that what you're talking about?
You don't think that's it. Everybody knows that's what would happen with a green dress. I can't understand.
Really? I never thought that.
But a lot of us know we should not look directly into an eclipse as well.
Okay.
A lot of us know we should not plagiarize a speech word for word from the former, right?
Former First Lady.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that she did it, but whoever's on her team was like, hey, this is a nice solid color. Solids are good. Go out with that.
I don't know. I feel like that was so naive of anybody, herself or her stylist, to even think that was a good fashion choice. And I mean, the thing with the Trumps is they just do whatever they want anyways, and they
Yeah.
don't ever apologize
Yeah.
for it. So I mean,
That's probably the correct answer. I'm just doing what I want. If you, I didn't realize that was going to be a green screen, and it would be a meme from time. But whatever.
whatever. Yeah, exactly. Well, good luck to the States and good luck to everybody in the US.
Yeah.
With
Good luck to
with
the
upcoming
world right now, Liz. It's not just the US, okay? Let's face it. Good luck to the world right now.
Yeah, let's just title the episode that. Good luck to the
Well,
Good
I'm
luck to
just
the
gonna. That was a great conversation, guys. It was really nice to chit chat with you guys. We'll just move.
I love it. I missed you guys. Next time we're gonna do this at a round table and we'll all be 6 feet apart. We can do it in our backyard or something. Because I missed you guys.
I know.
Yeah,
I
my
missed
glass
you guys.
needs to be full.
Yeah, we'll do. Well, let's quickly just run into Prosecco and Nest edition. So I'm gonna fill up my glass.
You wanna just say a goodbye so we can like pretend we're going into a next segment?
Do that.
Like let's just wrap up this part and then we're gonna take a little break.
Okay.
Because I want to ask you something. Because you're gonna edit all this, right?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, thanks guys so much for taking the time to chit chat with us and do this Zoom roundtable for Entertainment Calgary again. I really miss you guys. I really hope that we can do this again soon in person.
We'll
You
see
betcha.
soon.
It was awesome. Thank you so much. Love you. We missed BR, but hopefully on the next one.
For sure.
You
Take
guys.
care, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Okay, so I'm going
Okay, question for you. Can we set up another one for the VMAs with BR, or do you guys want to do it all today?
It's it doesn't really matter. Do you have, I can probably, let me see, what time are you done? You're out for dinner tonight, hey?
We're just going for dinner, but I can go home and like we can change so we're not wearing the same thing and just do
Sure.
another one for the VMAs. Like I'm flexible this week.
Yeah, I'm okay with doing.
Same here. We can do that.
Okay.
If we're working from home, if you guys are working from home, we can make this work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just
sure.
get BR involved and we'll
Yeah.
change our clothes so that we don't look the same
Okay.
and
So
we'll shoot another one.
let me text her and see what time she's done because I don't have my phone with me right now and see if we can do it later. What time do you think you'll be available, Lina?
Oh, then well, after I get home, dinner will probably be done at about, I'm going to say 2 hours at the keg. Like how they're probably going to kick us out anyways. So I don't.
So we can either do it later this evening or because I know BR is wrapped up. I know she's going to be busy tomorrow and Wednesday. So and I'm
free after 9:30.
tonight.
Tonight? Okay, I can do that too.
Yeah. Okay. So we can do that then. Yeah, I'm good with
Okay.
that. Okay. So let's do that then.
Cool.
See you,
Okay.
ladies.
Thank you guys. Love you.
Love you guys.
Okay, we'll
Mwah.
talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to stop recording?